G'day guys, we're back in the garage today, and today we're going to be installing some big red spotlights on our van. Let's get to it. Okay, sweet. So you should be able to see we've got the big red hybrid beam LED driving light. And let's do a bit of an unboxing. Wiring, damn. Oh cool, so this is the little cover that comes with it. And that's them. Looks pretty sick, pretty spiffy, and they'll essentially go just a so one there. I think the 7-inch works. We also had the option to mount them down here, which doesn't look too bad, but I think I'll chuck them up here. Oh, we also got the wiring harness, plug and play, 12 volt. Pretty sure the instructions are straightforward. With a little switch doodad. Should be everything that we need. So that's the wiring diagram. Pretty much connect the harness to the battery, and there's a small bit that goes in between the headlight existing harness. I'm going to remove that headlight so I can access the headlight harness and put in the little adapter thing. Yes. So to remove the headlight, just watched a quick YouTube video. Shout out to old mate that made that video. Pretty sure we just unscrew this. And I think there's another screw over here. What's up, chick? Pro tip from the video that I watched, open your door. It allows you to get some purchase on the light. There's some locator pins, which old mate said you pretty much just pull. What the fuck? I think I'm just gonna have to remove the bull bar, which is an absolute pain in the ass. But better to do things properly. So update, we removed the bull bar and the front grille. We still can't get to it. That's like the locator pin, but yeah, for whatever reason we still can't get to it. I think we're gonna have to remove this part, this bumper part, and then hopefully that should give us access to the bottom of the light. We'll check in back with you once that's done. Boom, bumper has been removed. Now we can access the light in its entirety and see what's going on. It also allows me to touch up some minor rust spots, which I noticed last time. It's probably going to be a little bit dark. Some time has passed. Been doing a bit of research, reading the instructions. Think I figured it out. This was connecting to this. That's your main high beam. This is like an adapter slash connector, which allows us to tap into the existing wiring harness for the lighting. And that should be pretty straightforward. Before any of this disconnection stuff, I went to the battery inside the cabin and I removed the negative terminal. That way it's just safer, I guess. Just like that, and this one, I believe it gets put like that, and this one connects to our wiring harness. So I'm pretty sure this one connects to this. So that should be connected now. So we have that hooked up. This is the wiring harness. Essentially this will eventually be in the cabin. This is what our switch gets attached to. And we got two of these bad boys. These just get plugged directly into the spotlights. What else do we have? We have this, which is our relay. And on the relay we have an inline fuse. Oh, not on the relay, on the wiring harness connecting to the relay. We have our positive and negative, which connect to the battery with an inline fuse. So it looks pretty good. I'm still not entirely sure where I'm going to run the harness, whether I find some place in the firewall or if I run it underneath along the chassis and up into the battery, but I'll figure that out. So a little bit more time has passed. And I'm having difficulty figuring out how I'm going to route the cable. Plus, I also don't think the cable's long enough. Like the wiring harness that came with it, I think it's designed for your pretty standard 4x4, where you have the battery is relatively close to the headlights-ish. Here, it's a little bit further away because the battery is within the cabin of the van. So I may have to extend that cable. It's getting dark. The garage is open. I don't like having the garage open. So I'm going to put the car back together, drive it in, and then have another crack. Tomorrow I'll probably head to Jaycar, get some cable sheath and some extra cable. That way I can extend the wiring harness that I have. But yeah, to be continued. We got to modify the cable. This doodad is a little bit too short, so we just need to make it a bit longer. I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Ta-da! And now we have super long cable. Cool. So I also bought some of this stuff, cable conduit. Yeah, this is going to go along these 3 cables to keep everything tidy, because this has to run outside and underneath the chassis rail. We've got our trusty cable snake, and we're essentially going to run the cable down beside the battery and then along the top of a chassis rail out to the front of the vehicle. I'm pretty sure that's how it should go. I couldn't find a grommet of any sort in the firewall, which is why we're having to go down through the battery. Fingers crossed the next time you guys see me, we have wires out the front of the vehicle. Ta-da! We have our cable. We managed to pull it all the way through. Let me take you under the van and show you where we've run it. I guess that black conduit is running all the way up from within the cabin, next to the battery, runs down there through the chassis rail. I've routed the harness through this little cutout, down the side here, cable tied in place, down through the engine bay, on top of the chassis rail, and then out the front. You can see we've mounted the relay. We used, essentially there was another one of these little push pin things here. I essentially just pushed it out from the other side and then just put a bolt and nut through. That's pretty secure. So we have a rat's nest of wires. I've been troubleshooting this thing for like a good hour, 2 hours or so. Essentially we have our doodad connector going to the main headlight, and we also have to tap in using this wire, which connects to the either the white or the yellow wire, depending whether or not you want the amber or the white light, which connects to the spotlights. You can see it in the wiring diagram that comes with the big red spotlights. This cable needs to get spliced into that green one, plugged in, and then we should be able to put everything back together. I am like, as to whether or not it'll work, but I guess we'll find out together. Oh my God. Do you guys see that? Did you see that? I think we have daytime running lights. Okay. That is sick. Oh my God. Let there be light. Let there be light. Woo! I'm dead set so excited. That's sick. Yes. Okay. Oh, I just electrocuted myself. Now I just need to mount the switch, like here. So I'm gonna have to pull out the dash, route the wires, but that's done. I'm so stoked. I am so happy. So this is where we are. We have the battery. We have our lighting harness. That's the relay. We have our negative going to the negative. We have our positive cable going to the positive. I've decided to route the switch cable along this beam around here to here, and then underneath the floor mat, up underneath the glove box, and then essentially is that, and then I'll route it through to the driver's side of the cabin. This stack of cables that you see here is essentially all the lighting stuff. I try to make it as neat as possible, and I've made sure that the cables are supported with some cable ties, and then essentially we have our 2 plugs here which will get connected to the spotlights. So very loosely fitted, looking pretty spiffy. Time to install the grill now, and then I'll tighten everything up, and then we just got to route the inside cable. I'm in the process of pulling out the whole dash so I can route this cable. I'm going a little bit overboard, I think. I don't think you would necessarily need to do this, but this is Susie's first time seeing the dash pulled out.
No.
It is what it is. It's a bit of a pain. I thought I was going to be able to tap into the switch box. The little doodad switch tap that I got is incorrect, even though it says micro, and I'm pretty certain they are micro. Doesn't want to play ball. Massive pain in the ass, but yeah, it is what it is.
You're going to be able to put this back together.
We'll see. Back of the van's looking pretty good though.
Why?
Just about to route the Fandangle harness. That bad boy, we've attached it to the yellow cable snake, and we're going to pull it through the dash. It's right there. Perfect. Yeah, you got it. Look at that. And that's our harness. Sue's thoughts?
Smooth.
Smooth. Now we just need to run it probably to like this area and put back the dashboard and all that sort of stuff. This little doodad spotlight switch just arrived. I'm just going to place this switch into there. We've installed our switch. It's Fandangle, looking pretty good. As you can see, there's no lights illuminated now. That's because the lights on the vehicle are off. If you flick the switch on, your dash lights come on and the words spotlight illuminates. And then if we were to kick this into high beam and press this button, boom, see all the lights turn on and she is good to go. So you can switch it on, or switch it off, switch it on, switch it off. Switch has been wired in, dash has been fully put back together. It looks pretty good. We're super happy with it. We're going to show you what they look like.